David Benavidez finally reacts to Jamie Munguia, who just defeated I Won't Deny It, I'm a John Ryder, you don't want to mess with me, on DAZN. That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Do not want to waste any of your time, so let's get started to the proceedings this evening. Jamie Munguia just fought on DAZN. He got a knockout, something that Canelo payday, you want payday, I know that. He was not able to do at home in Mexico. But in his second home, because Jamie Munguia is also from Mexico, his second home of Arizona, or maybe even his third home, because I think he lived in LA, Jamie Munguia knocks out John Ryder. He knocked him down a total of 4 times. Now, I'm not going to spend as much time breaking down the fight in detail, but if you want me to put out a video tomorrow where I explore the John Ryder Jamie Munguia fight in detail, put Munguia Ryder in the comments section so I know to make that, because the fans run the channel. It's really up to you guys. You guys had it, hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel, and that's what helps dictate the traffic for videos like these. So Jamie Munguia, main event, Arizona. He really beat John Ryder up. John Ryder, I mean, I never rated John Ryder like a lot of people. And it's like these British dudes, they got to start leaving Latino fighters alone. Like, it's just not good for their health. In boxing, how many times in the last several years have we seen these types of matchups with a UK guy, Leigh Wood or Warrington, and they end up losing to the Lattas and the Kid Galahads? In Great Britain, they lose to the Kiko Martinez's, and in this case, John Ryder, he loses the British, whatever they call him, the white gorilla. He lost to Jamie Munguia, and I don't even know if he has a nickname, but he lost to him, and it's just the same story. Canelo broke out Billy Joe Saunders' eye socket, destroyed Callum Smith. He also beat the brother Liam Smith. He knocked Amir Khan and snot flew out. Amir Khan tried to jump in. Eat. And Khan was asleep. You know what I mean? So it's like, how many times do we have to keep seeing the same movie? So for me, this was an easy fight. I didn't have to sweat. I knew exactly what to expect. Munguia, the only, I guess, difference is he was with, instead of Eric Morales, I guess he's getting into politics. Jamie Munguia is working with Freddie Roach. And the thing with Freddie Roach is he's an offensive coach. It was kind of a weird match, to be honest, because Jamie Munguia, he already had offense. He needs to work on his defense. You know, offense was already there. But I will give credit to Freddie Roach. It looked like he spent some time with Munguia, and at least in this fight with John Ryder, he looked like he was just a tad bit more patient and looking to set up his shots a little bit better and pick his shots and pick his spots maybe more than we've seen in the past. But this is the reason you guys clicked on it. Now with Munguia advancing, you know, DAZN was clout chasing Canelo, but we know Canelo doesn't move like that. Canelo will be the one to decide what is next for his career. So that was a good performance from Munguia. I didn't expect much from John Ryder. I mean, he shows the same thing, but it's always a losing effort at the elite level. Thought he lost to Danny Jacobs. The judges said he lost to Callum Smith, even though you could argue that his way. Canelo, he lost, just like he lost here. And he's talking about if he were to lose to Munguia, he's going to retire. So Munguia advances, and this is the reaction that you've been seeing on the screen from David Benavidez. He says, you see, he was watching the fight or looked at the highlights or whatever on his TV. This is an easy knockout. That's why they ducked me. Because if you guys remember, there was some kind of talk. There was chatter. We heard some chatter, if you will, that Jamie Munguia and Munguia, and his team and Golden Boy were in talks to possibly fight David Benavidez. Benavidez said, sign me up. I would love that fight. And it looked like it was something that could happen, but for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And this seems to be the ongoing case with Golden Boy Promotions. And I gotta keep it real. When it comes to Golden Boy, anytime it's these fights outside of Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, if it's a fight involving another promoter, you could just bet sure shot that the fight doesn't get made with that other promoter, especially if it's a dangerous fight. I think Golden Boys, they're kind of down to their wits' end when it comes to marketable, like marquee fighters who are selling out. So they're not in a rush to put dangerous fights together, especially when it's not in-house fights. Like you look at Ryan's last fight, Ryan Garcia, he fought against Oscar Duarte. So even if people thought that was a dangerous fight, which I didn't really think was like a ton of danger for Ryan, but even if people did think it was dangerous for Ryan Garcia, even if Duarte were to have won, that's still a Golden Boy fighter. So at the end of the day, Golden Boy would still win and they would still have the winner. But we've heard Munguia could fight against Charlo. We've heard Munguia could fight against Benavidez. These are Al Heyman fighters. So now we know De La Hoya, his relationship with PBC, and it's not the greatest. He's always talking about Floyd Mayweather, always talking about, you know, Al Heyman and what Al Heyman needs to do, all these different things in the world of boxing. So with that being said, they don't have a great relationship. Worked together in the past, but that was many moons ago. So what I'm seeing is an emerging pattern. Ryan Garcia, he was going to fight, or at least they said he was going to fight against Rolly, right? Said, oh, Rolly, we're in negotiations. Didn't happen. Ryan Garcia, they said he was going to fight Devin Haney, which that's a kind of an in-house fight, meaning they both fight on DAZN, but it's not an in-house fight in terms of promotionally. If Devin Haney's working with Eddie Hearn, which he did for his last fight, he's not a Golden Boy fighter. So if Devin Haney, he would be a huge favorite over Ryan Garcia at this point, you know, and this is just the sports book, but he would be a favorite based on how Devin looked in his last fight and how Ryan looked in his last fight. Plus you have to couple that with the fact that Devin Haney is a champion. He would be the favorite. You dig? So with that being understood, it's still not an in-house fight all the way, because Golden Boy stands to lose if the sports book is correct and Ryan loses to Devin Haney, when I have no doubt in my mind that Devin would be the favorite on the sports book in the betting line, then they would be losing to a rival promoter, Eddie Hearn. So I think that's what's happening with a lot of these fights. I don't really doubt Ryan Garcia would probably fight, you know, Rolly, maybe Devin Haney at this point. I don't doubt that Jaime Munguia would fight David Benavidez, but I think it's the negotiations of who's representing Munguia. You know, I don't think Munguia doesn't like strike me as somebody who's like quote unquote scary, if that makes any sense. I think it's the politics of boxing and really Golden Boy that is ultimately preventing this fight. Now, my personal opinion, and most of the time I don't even really too much weigh in on fights that are not made, but some of them are so easy and I don't even have to leave y'all in mystery or anything. My personal thoughts, and I wasn't even mad at Munguia's performance tonight versus John Ryder. He didn't do anything wrong. He actually looked somewhat better than we've seen in the past. But in my honest opinion, based on what I've seen in the past, based on what I've seen tonight, he does not beat David Benavidez. He does not beat Jermall Charlo. Jaime Munguia does not beat Payday. You want payday? He does not beat Canelo Alvarez. he get hit too much. When he hurts a guy, he gets like too amped up and too hyped and starts swinging crazy and try to take your head off. Canelo's just a veteran, you know, like, I mean, I guess it's plausible. I'm just giving you my opinion. It's plausible. Anything can happen in boxing, as they say. But if I had to bet money, Canelo, he's not going to get hit with foolish stuff unless he's just completely washed and like golfing 24/7 and not taking Munguia seriously. And he just gets caught with, you know, a punch he doesn't see coming, or at the end of a combination or something like that. I mean, I guess that would be Munguia's claim to fame. But when I'm looking at stylistic matchups, I'm not going to bank on like Hail Marys. And that's what I see. For Munguia to beat any of these elite names that I just mentioned, or a name I didn't mention, which is David Morrell, I don't see it. Because at that highest level, your chin can get you so far. Your offense can get you so far. You're with an offensive trainer in Freddie Roach, who's just basically telling you to amp up the offense. Like literally in the John Ryder fight, that's what Freddie said. They said, "Oh, what do you want from Munguia? Do you like what you're seeing?" And he's like, "Oh, I want more punches." So more punches versus Canelo mean more opportunities for somebody like Canelo. You know what I mean? Listen, I said it, I'm gonna say it again. More punches versus Canelo equal more opportunities for Canelo. Canelo got good reflexes and upper body movement, and he has the great ability to counter. Same thing with guys like Jermall Charlo. I mean, I guess you can play devil's advocate and say, oh, Jermall Charlo, he's been out the ring so long. Jermall Charlo is not the same as before. I mean, if any of those things are true, then okay, Munguia has a chance. But I'm talking about Jermall Charlo at his best. If he looks like how he's always looked throughout his career, that jab is going to stop Munguia. You know what I mean? David Morrell, I mean, don't even get me started. Don't get me started. David Morrell, David Benavidez, I think they're the top two, and Canelo rounds off the top three. Even though Canelo's undisputed, I think Morrell and David Benavidez are the top two super middleweights. So, you know, I'm not mad at Jaime Munguia. He's going to keep doing his thing. This is just my opinion. Looks like he had a solid crowd. Definitely a good performance with 4 knockdowns. Got the stoppage, something Canelo couldn't do. But it's about time he steps up in competition and, you know, really Golden Boy pushes the button on an elite matchup. And most of the elite matchups are going to require Golden Boy to work with another promoter. Let me know what you guys think. Ego thoughts, just my thoughts. David Benavidez says that's some easy work. He said it's easy work. Let me know if you agree with Benavidez. Who would win? Drop it in the comments. Drop it.